Well, so buyer pre-qual and buyer trial close is about like having a conversation to get to the appointment. Some of this new stuff that's happening in the market is buyers who are going to have apprehension, right? And so this is going to be collective. This is going to be a mastermind, right? Is like what could they say, and then maybe we can start playing around with like how would we respond.
I'm hearing new objections in this market that I haven't heard in
Okay.
a while or.
Okay, tell me about it.
Often. Well, I'm just gonna work directly with the listing agent.
Okay, so let's write them down. No.
Why? Because they think that they can take the commission.
All right.
Oh, because I'm gonna work directly with the listing agent, and that way I don't have to. Nobody has to pay a buyer's agent, and then they'll just deduct that money off the price of the house.
Okay.
This would be a time where my face would change to where they look like an idiot.
Yeah.
I'd be like, are you kidding me?
I can see that. You're not so good at facial.
I mean, I know.
Not.
I know.
Yeah.
My face is
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's
All right. So let's work it. Let's work it. Right. Because okay. Working with listing agent. What else are we concerned about to get to the appointment with a buyer?
I don't want to sign anything because I'll just call Redfin and they'll open the doors for me until I find the house that I want, and then I'm going to go work with the listing agent.
Sign.
They've got a plan.
Yeah.
The buyers,
That's very specific.
they've got their own plan. They know
Call-
exactly how they're going to do it.
Call Redfin. I'll just put that. Okay. All right. Anything else? What else? See? Open-ended question.
It's just, I just want to see one house. I just want to open one house.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I just want to see one house.
I don't understand what they do.
They don't want to sign
Contract.
a buyer rep.
Because if I find a house that I like, I'll just call Redfin and they'll go open the door for me.
How about this?
Is Redfin going to be allowed to still show without agreement?
Nobody is.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Yeah.
They also don't.
Not interested in buyer rep.
The listing agent isn't going to save them any money.
Okay, not interested in buyer rep. There's lots of ways that could happen. What was this one?
I want to see one house.
Just one house. Yeah, that's legit. They're going to definitely get that, right? Just one house. Those are three good ones.
I get a question. I get one. It's about selling. Can I say that?
No, buying. Yeah. Selling's coming up. We'll do it another week. Yeah.
I don't want to tie myself to one agent.
Just one house. Just not.
Oh, I got someone before. It's a buyer. She said, I have another friend who will just show me the houses or help me browse online. But once I find a house, I'm going to close with you because I want you to make that commission.
She's going to close with her friend?
No, she wants to close with me, but she just wants to see other agents to help her to show to give her information. But once she finds that one,
So that's a form of not interested in buyer rep.
Yeah.
That's a form of not interested in buyer rep. All right, let's go with these three or four right now. Okay. Now I'll give you a couple hacks.
Buyer rep too.
Huh?
I said not one agent. I don't want to be secluded to one agent's buyer rep.
Not one agent. Yeah, that is. You're right. I agree. All right, let's keep it simple. Okay, here's a couple hacks that we worked on before. Think, feel. Okay. Okay, tied to risk, reward. That'd be one way to handle it. Okay, we got the option or negative, positive, and then what if? What if? See? Okay. What if? Okay. So you got what if, think, feel, risk, reward. Okay. This would be my way of starting for us to like get creative with like, all right, how am I going to respond to this? Okay. Because there's risks and rewards, obviously, to working with the listing agent, not interested in buyer rep, just one house. Okay. I don't have a plan for this, by the way. We're all in this together, okay? Okay, so let's play with it. Who wants to give a shot? Okay. Renee, look, I don't know. I just think that, honestly, I appreciate that property you have listed, or that you're doing an open house on here. But honestly, I just would go with the listing agent. Potentially, I'm just going to go to the listing agent.
Yeah, I completely understand that. I'm just wondering, how well do you think you're going to do negotiating against the professional?
How what? Say it again.
How well do you think you're going to do negotiating against the professional?
Okay. Not bad. So I just think I'll just go with the listing agent.
So I get why you're saying you want to go with the listing agent. I mean, a lot of people are kind of in that mindset right now because of all things that are happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now let me ask you, how would you feel if you didn't get the best deal because you had an agent that was not representing you?
Okay, I like it. I just think I'll just go with the listing agent, Kim.
I'm gonna
You're dumb.
That's not how it works, Paul.
So, okay, wait, that listing agent thing has been common in California since forever.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
forever.
and I got a lot of it in Vegas too because
They come from California.
California, and you know what? There's ethnic cultures that do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That do that a lot. Like Indian culture, Asian culture, like they like going. There's a lot of activity towards. Well, I just want a good deal, so I'm just going to go negotiate with.
They feel they are good negotiators.
They feel like they're good negotiators. They revel in it. That's like that's part of the process.
Do they understand that their client is the seller, though? Do they understand that the listing agent?
Okay, I just want to work with the listing agent.
Okay, so the listing agent actually represents the seller.
I just want to go with the listing agent. You see that? You see that? You're like, I just want to go with the listing agent. She's like,
That's what I do too. You don't know how it works. This is how it works.
right.
I'm a
Okay.
data person.
All right. Hey.
How it works.
Okay.
You just want to work with the listing agent.
Yeah.
You have to
Okay.
think, sorry.
And I can understand your perspective because you probably feel like you can negotiate your own deal and you're going to save a lot of money that way. Is that what you're thinking?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about that. So,
Well, I mean, if I could save money by going right to the listing agent, I mean, I want to try to get the best deal I possibly can.
okay, so you're interested in getting the best deal that you possibly can.
Absolutely.
Okay, and what if by working with a listing agent that you're actually negotiating against yourself?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, in that case, the listing agent represents who?
Great question. The seller, obviously.
The seller.
Yeah.
Right, and so they don't have your best interests in mind.
No.
Okay, and so you're not getting any inside information about that deal at all, right? You don't know whether they're getting divorced or what the situation is. You're just negotiating.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that.
Okay, and what if by working with a buyer's agent, if you had representation of your own, you would have more insight into what was going on in that situation so that you would have better negotiating power against the seller?
I mean, yeah, that sounds good, but I'm not really sure. Okay, break script. All right. Okay, but look at the core elements of some of the fundamental stuff that I've coached you guys on. So important, right? Because you're engaging a conversation that has conflicting conflicting positions for whatever reason, right? And I need to deconstruct here and get back down. We're here. I need to get back to here. Well, repeat approve gets me here. Good questions. Oh, this is so good. I'm so glad we're recording this. All right. Repeat approve gets me here. Good questions get me here. That's where I need to be, Mary Lynn. So I got to keep saying the names or else I'm going to forget, right? Okay. So I need to be here. And here is get to know the people, not make a decision you're going with me. Get to know the people so that we can get to the real place that we're going to have to have a real conversation, which is the appointment. Okay? Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not really interested in buyer representation right now, Slank.
You're not really interested in buyer representation?
No. I mean, I'm just kind of looking around, and when I see something I like,
Okay. How many? Okay. I gotcha. So you kind of threw me off with the second.
You actually were going in a good position there. Situation. What's going on?
So you're not interested in signing any buyer representation?
Right.
I get that. Sounds to me like you're just worried about being able to keep your options open and not getting tied into anything without having the correct information?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what if I was able to show you some new information that would help you feel comfortable about moving forward? When would be a good time to sit down and talk about it?
Okay, not bad. I like it. I like it. Not bad. I like it. Last week, I took a picture of it, but it's on my phone. We deconstructed the objection. Do you remember how we did that? I wish I had it here. You just did it. I compartmentalized it and put it into an equation where we address the objection, we validate the objection. You guys remember that? Who was here last week?
Where the objection becomes the answer?
The objection becomes the answer. But Kim did it too really well, is I repeat the objection. Approval is validating the objection, validating the thought or the feeling, right? I need that validation hardcore. And when you tie it down, is that what you think? That's what you said. Are those your thoughts? Is that how you feel? I need to get that validation, but the question has to be good enough where that is how they feel. And because objections are a doubt and insecurity, a fear in the mind of the prospect, like you gotta think. You're not just gonna be able to read a script, like you gotta get there as a human being and go, okay, well, what are they thinking? When you can get in their mind and what they're thinking or what they're feeling or what they're fearing, and then you validate that, okay, here we go. There we go. Now I'm on the level field. Now I gotta continue asking good questions so I can get to here. Maybe some questions around what if, think, feel, risk, reward, drive some value somehow, throw an option, negative, positive would be, okay, you're not interested in buyer rep right now?
In that one, I think that there's so many reasons why they might not be interested in the buyer rep. Like we just went through it, right? We clumped them all under one topic. So I think you have to go 3 deep at least on that one. Like tell me why. What about the buyer representation agreement is scary?
Agree, which is what I thought you were gonna do.
So right now, when I'm dealing with that objection, the number one reason when I dig into it is because they work with a slew of agents who haven't done anything.
Yeah. So repeating and proving is still important because I heard you start asking questions. You're like, well, I think you're going to say, how many homes did you look at? Or how many homes have you looked at? Or where are you at in the process? Or how long have you been looking? Situation plus motivation. Situation first, by the way. Okay? Situation first. All my scripts are like that. Situation first, because situation is unobtrusive. It's less intimate. So asking about how long you've been looking around. How many properties have you seen? Are you just looking around in this area? Have you seen agents show you, or have you just been going to open houses? And that situation just kind of settles down the process a little bit, so I can get to know them more before I go into motivational questions, or ask more insightful questions that may lead me to getting alignment to be able to set the appointment.
I would say, in line with what you're saying, I think it's getting to know what their experience is with the buyer rep to find out why they're hesitant.
That's part of situation.
Yeah.
So what do you understand about the buyer rep? Good question.
Like what experience have they had? Like how has an agent helped them so
Yeah.
far? Or have they helped them?
Open, right? Open questions around the buyer rep. Give me one.
So have you talked with other buyer reps so far?
Good, give me another one. Open question on buyer rep.
Have you signed a buyer rep?
Have you signed a buyer rep?
Did you have any bad experience with the
You have any bad experiences with buyer rep?
What have they told you they're going to do for you to help you buy?
Right, has anyone ever explained to you, who's gone over the buyer rep with you to explain exactly what it is?
The process.
The process. Get to know the people, get to know the people, get to know the people, get to know the people. Versus like just going into combat mode being like, all right, listen.
Hey, you said mistakes in here don't cost you money.
That's right.
I can get it out in here so that I can do it better later.
Hallelujah.
And I think also us understand, so going to these classes and understanding the buyer rep and the limitations or the flexibility that we have within the buyer rep. So if they come at you with the condition, well, I want to work with a specialist, but only in this neighborhood. Okay, that's fine. We can craft the buyer representation document to just include me representing you in this zip code or this area or this school zone or whatever. And
Yeah.
if you want to work with somebody else in Avery Ranch, knock yourself out.
Yeah, because this real objection, when I'm at a position where I've just created the conversation, I'm in the middle of carrying the conversation, and it's not yet maybe time to close, then I'm repeating and approving into like situation questions. and then going, right? Because I got to get to know the people on where is their mindset, like why are they saying that? And you can't just go, why are you saying that? In your head, you're like, okay, but I can condition myself to have better responses because better conversations equal better paychecks, more consistent paychecks, okay? It's why somebody can, when the market's crashing, my first year in the business, 2008, the market in Vegas was doing this. You were in California, right? Were you in California at that time?
I was in Vegas.
You're in Vegas. That's right. You were in Vegas. I forgot that. Yeah, you were in Vegas. Okay. Market was doing straight down. Okay. So I know I've been part of all of the elements working with buyers and sellers in that. And my business, I did 14 transactions my first year when the market was going straight down. That was like 30 transactions in the real world because they took so long to close, okay? But the quality of your conversations dictate the value you bring and the value in the marketplace because you can create the market. There's realities of what the market's doing, interest rates, inventory, mindsets, but you can create value and a market where people, they see your value, they appreciate your value, and they're willing through consideration to consider your services with good conversations rooted in, all right, what's really going on? Okay, we're out of time here a little bit to do just one house, huh?
Can we break into the new law? So, and then after we know that after all of those conversations, by the way, so the new law, so it says we cannot show you any house or do anything without signing.
You could use that. Yeah, you're going to use that. How and where and when would you use that? Not interested in buyer rep. Well, I'm just not interested in a buyer rep, Miriam. I'm not interested in a buyer rep. See?
Yeah, I completely understand. So do you know what is on the buyer reps? So
I mean, just that I have to work with you, right? I mean, I wasn't really interested in getting tied down right now.
sure, I completely understand. So what if we sit together and I explain to you what exactly it says? And by the way, so the new law say if you don't sign that, so we cannot do anything and we cannot show any house to you for you.
Well, I have a friend who said he just opened doors for me. He's a friend. He's not making me sign anything.
Yeah, how do you feel about working with a convicted felon? Now, I'm a little brash. I might say some shit like that just to like get them to laugh or to pattern interrupt. NLP, right? Pattern interrupt. Like you just break the energy. You break the energy and they go, yeah, well, look, I mean, here's the thing. I'm sure that there's people that are going to do that. And with the new law, I mean, we can actually be sued if there's not representation. So I'm sure there's people that maybe they don't understand. I don't know your friend. Maybe they don't understand the rules or they haven't been explained to them yet. God forbid that they know the rules and they're literally breaking the law. But here's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you could go with your friend and kind of risk lawsuits or even the possibility of getting a home, or we could just sit down and go over how I can share off-market properties, what I can do to negotiate 3 to 5% of the value when we're securing a home. And then I know you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense, right? Right. Okay. Well, let's just sit down and have a conversation. Tuesday at 4, Wednesday at 6. And I lead them and steer them into, because if you don't the value's got to be clear, Miriam. The value's got to be clear. So you could ask these questions, but don't forget, if the value's not big and fat on the tail end for them, not for you, well, I mean, you can't look without an agreement. They don't care about that. You got to explain the risks or consequences to that that's clear and evident and nice, big, fat, and juicy. That's why gimmicks work. Nobody likes gimmicks, but everybody buys them. Right?
What if your friend shows you a property without fully negotiating their commission or their compensation like we're supposed to do before we show a house? You fall in love with the house, and now because they didn't do the work ahead of time, they didn't know to do the work ahead of time, now you have to pay an extra 3% to your friend.
Right. Or the deal just doesn't get put together under the new
Then you lose
laws.
that house.
Yeah. What if you lose the opportunity because they're not following the structure, and either that's a consequence to you financially, legally, or technically you don't even get the house. How would you feel then? That's real though, right? That could happen. No? Yes? Okay.
We can go back for the agent. Are they a full-time agent or the part-time?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody didn't sign all the basic paperwork, how they gonna sign the rest of the contract, like
Yeah.
negotiation, other legal stuff? So you are in the legal.
Yeah. How would I ask that question? I got a good one in my head right now.
Ask it.
Ask it.
Yeah. Wow. They said that to you?
Yeah. They will.
Really?
He's gonna write the offer for me.
But he's not gonna do any representation. You said, right?
Yeah.
That's really interesting, Galag. Because they just passed a law, and I know honestly I haven't heard any full-time agents say that at all. Are they full-time or are they part-time?
I don't know.
Okay. Do they work for themselves or they work with a broker that?
One of the brokers, he paid for $50.
Interesting. Well, obviously you're not going to do anything unless it makes sense for you. So a second opinion to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. Is that really unreal? Because look, you don't owe me anything. You don't owe that other person anything, but you do owe yourself getting the best possible deal. False or true?
True.
By the way, that for some of you guys, that sounds a little cheesy, but that shit works. Dom, have you done that one? That shit works. They go, because it sounds a little cheesy, but they go, yep, yeah. They go, yeah. And that's all I need is here. And once they're here, well, there we go. Oh yeah, it's about you. All right, well, however you say it. Okay, takeaways. We gotta wrap up. Was this helpful?
Yes.